Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Yoga Kusuma. In this video, I want to show you how to manage a list of DHCP server on your microcomputer. List is the list of the IP address been that been yang sudah dibagikan ke perangkat klien. Di list juga ada MAC address dari perangkat yang menggunakan IP address tersebut. Okay, before we learn how to manage a list, we must configure IP address and DHCP server on router 1 first. In router 1, I will change the name first and make sure the router 1 have IP address also can ping to Google. Okay, next is we add the IP address for interface Ether 2 and Ether 3 like in the topology. Okay, then we can see the configuration of IP address by using command IP address print. Here, as you can see, there is a IP address that I configured before. Next, we configure the DHCP server by using the DHCP server setup. We configure the DHCP server for Ether 2 and Ether 3 because Ether 2 and Ether 3 is the interface that connect to the client. Okay, next Ether 3. Okay, and next we will check the list of DHCP server before PC use IP address automatically for DHCP server. Here, as you can see, there is no IP address and MAC address in here. Next, we want to configure IP address automatically in PC1 and PC2. In PC1, I want to set the name first and then configure IP address automatically. In PC2, we will configure the IP address automatically too. Okay, back to PC1. Here, if you show IP, PC1 will have the IP address that been configured automatically by using the DHCP client. In PC2, IP DHCP server print. Here PC2 is so big, can configure by using the DHCP. Wait, I want to check the IP address first. The IP address is fine. The DHCP server is also fine here. And PC2 should become get the get IP address automatically from DHCP. But why this is cannot? Here I will remove the DHCP for Ether3 first, and then add again. Right. So next here, G2 still can get IP address. Wait a second. Here I want to try again with configure PC2 with configure IP address in PC2 automatically with using DHCP client. First, I want to change the name, then IP DHCP here. Alright, PC2 is now have IP address automatically. So next, we want to see in router 1 and root DHCP server list in router 1. And as you can see, there is two IP address that in the list of DHCP server in router 1. We can make this address be a static address, so if the PC connect or connect again to router 1, he will be given with the same address. The command to make the address static is by using command ipdgp server list make static numbers, then you can enter the numbers. And as you can see, if we print again the DHCP server list, the flag D, that means dynamic, is now disappear, and it means IP address in here is configured as a static address. Next up, if we print the DHCP server, print DHCP server print here, there is a table that called at RP. This table, if this table is if at RP is enabled in the DHCP server, MAC address that in the list address will be written in the RP table of on your Mercury router. So to enable that, we can use command ipdgp server set numbers, then you enter the numbers, add RP, yes, and as you can see here, the add RP is now enabled, and in the RP table there is yes in the add RP table of the DHCP server configuration. In the DHCP server configuration. So the next thing that you want to do is check the interface Ethernet by using command interface Ethernet print. Here the RP is enabled. We can configure this too by using command IP interface Ethernet set numbers 1 and 2 is the interface that connect to the client. RP reply only. Jadi fungsi dari konfigurasi RP reply only ini, router hanya akan membalas pesan jika pesan tersebut berasal dari perangkat yang MAC address-nya itu terdaftar pada tabel ARP. Jadi secara otomatis jika kita menggunakan DHCP server yang sudah dikonfigurasi at ARP sebelumnya, nanti saat perangkat menggunakan DHCP server, MAC address-nya akan tercatat pada ARP table, dan saat melakukan komunikasi atau mengirimkan paket, maka router akan membalas pesan dari perangkat tersebut. Sehingga jika ada klien yang mencoba untuk melakukan konfigurasi IP address secara statis atau manual, dia tidak akan bisa melakukan komunikasi dengan router. Itu karena MAC address-nya itu tidak terdaftar pada tabel ARP yang ada pada router. And for the verification, here we can ping to the gateway first in the PC1. As you can see, now PC1 can communicate to router 1. In PC2, PC2 is also can communicate to router 1, and we now have to configure PC1 and PC2, configure IP address in PC1 and PC2 manually to verification to make sure the configuration has been configured by using clear IP. Now PC1 don't have an IP. If you use show IP here, the IP address in the gateway is not 0, and if you want to configure the IP address manually, we can use IP, then enter the IP and prefix, then the gateway. And if you use show IP, there is IP address and also gateway for PC1 but if we ping to IP gateway, the router will not respond the packet that PC1 sent to router 1. Next, in PC2, we can also do the same thing. Here the IP is no 0, then IP /24, and the gateway is this. Okay, now we can ping to the gateway, and as you can see, the PC2 cannot communicate to router 1 because PC2 configured the IP address manually. So if we use if we configure IP address by using the plane here and do ping, and as you can see, the PC1 can ping and PC2 is also can ping. Alright, and you can also edit the IP address that PC1 or PC2 have in the DHCP server list in router 1. DHCP server list here. Okay, there in number 0 we have IP address for PC1, and in number 1 we have IP address on PC2. I want to set the IP address for PC1 first by using command set numbers. No, set number 0, number 0. Wait, IP database server list edit number 0 value name address, and I want to change it to 10 and use Control O to save and quit. I want to configure IP address for PC2 as well. Here I change it to 20, and if you print again here, the IP address is now changed. And if you check in PC1 again by using show IP, the IP address is also changed. PC2 IP address for PC2 is, wait, we use IP address again. Alright, now the IP address is now changed. We use IP address again here in PC2 and see that the IP address that PC2 have is now changed. Even if we shut down the PC and then turn it on, the IP address is still the same. We can do it, but before we do it, save the configuration first, then turn off the PC1 here, and then turn on again, and then click reconnect here, and there is Dora, and the IP address of the PC1 is still the same because we configure the static IP in router 1 list. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.